And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the level 63 Astrologian quest in Final Fantasy XIV. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So, we are here in Ishgard in the Pillars at 15.9, and we need to talk to Laveva. The quest is called Ride Like the Wind. Lady Laveva has something to ask of her favourite pupil. Mithrie, I see you received my summons. You didn't receive my summons? 12 dams at Janquinard to the 7th Hell and back. He's going to... forgive me. There shall be sufficient time for the condemnation of his soul for 11th Beltars. For now, I must speak to you of Kyogoho's training. Despite appearances and attitude and manners, and courting habits, our traveller from the east has proven quite motivated in his study of our ways. In fact, while you were off doing whatever it is you do, he successfully opened the next 4 gates of heaven. Anyway, preparations for the symposium have left me with little time to pick the boy's mind, but I have nevertheless managed to fully grasp the primitive concept of geomancy. In fact, I plan on incorporating several of the ideas as anecdotes into my presentation. It is what my father would have wanted. Now, as to why I have called you here, Kyogoho is very close to attuning to the final heaven, the spear, and I think it's only fitting that his instructor be there to accompany him during his finest moment. And because I am obviously too occupied at the moment, I thought perhaps you could join him in my stead. Sure. So then it is settled. You shall guide young Kyogoho on his final steps to glory and enlightenment, just as I did you those many moons ago. Follow me outside, Mithrie, and let us begin our friend the good tidings together. Okay. So we have to go just outside. So, that is odd. I could have sworn that he was right here but a moment ago. Fleuret, have you seen Kyogoho? Fleuret, are you listening to me? If it is our Hindian novitiate you seek, he hurried out of the Athanian side entrance not 5 heartbeats past. He was quite animated, even more than usual. A veritable one-man murmurs tragedy, all full of jumping and flailing and pumping of fists. Can they speak English, please? What could have unsettled the boy so? I suppose it might have been the letter I handed him. It was delivered just this morning. Kyogoho skimmed over it quickly, asked me several cursory questions about the heaven of ice, to which I gave several cursory answers, and then was gone. And you did not try and stop him? Why would I? He was leaving. Bah, if my intuition is correct, and it usually is, something in that missive has led Kyogoho to believe that he does not have much time left in the Eorzea, and so has set out for the Steel Vigil, that he might open the final gate and complete his training before he departs our realm. Mithrie, it looks as if our plan is already set in motion to Central Highlands. Oh, alright, let's go to the Steel Vigil. Okay, we made it to the Steel Vigil, but it seems like we have a fight on our hands. I'm a bit overpowered for this because I'm already level 80. But I'll use my Chocobo anyway. Okay, there is Kyogoho. So, Mithrie, this is the second time you have saved me from my folly. Well, technically speaking, it is the first. You were merely standing around as Lady Laveva healed my wounds last time. Right, I'll stop there. I know it makes little sense to leave without saying anything, despite the fact you, Lady Laveva, and Janquinard all were but mere yarms from where I stood. But some stories are already told, and who are we to struggle against the ebb and flow that carry us toward our fates? Alright, that was a poor excuse. Truth is, I have been summoned back to my homeland, and was too ashamed to face those who had showed me so much support. And so I thought to come here, open the gate to the final heaven, and then take the next trading galley out of Uldar before any of you realized I was gone. As you can see, things did not unfold as planned. But since you are here, perhaps we could have one last lesson for old time's sake? Blessings? I see. Both power and compassion. The yin to the other's yang. It is as if the more I learn of your stars, the less I know. To think that this may be the last I ever see of your heavens. I'm beginning to understand why your people treasure them so. And with the opening of the 6th, I have prepared my mind and soul for the 7th, the final gate that leads to the true dominion over the elements, or so Lady Laveva insists. Our conversations have been eye-opening, to say the least. She theorizes that our two schools may actually be one and the same. Whereas astrologians look to the stars above to read their fates, we geomancers look to the star below and listen to its songs and draw our answers from its whispers. While I am certain my masters back in Hingashi would cringe upon hearing that a Westerner of not 20 summers believes she has grasped 1,000 generations of teaching, I am more willing to indulge her eccentricities now that I know that she means no ill will. I only wish that we would have had more time to possibly see that there were some way we could have combined our knowledge to create something new, something the world has never before seen. And with that, I bid you, Lady Laveva, Quimperane, Muglinil, Softkind, Fleuret, Sweet-Lipped, Harrier, and that tall chap on the second floor, always mumbling about some star's magnitude, even Janquinard, the fondest of farewells. Yeah, you might have messed up the pronunciation of those names. I have a long journey ahead of me, and if I do not leave now, I fear I will never be able to. Okay, alright, let's go back to Laveva. Okay, we've made it back to Laveva. So you are back, but I do not see Kayakuho. Is he out fawning over Fleuret again? Back to Hingashi. I cannot say that this was unexpected. The Deco 60 told me as much this morning. That and I asked Janquinard what was written in the letter. What you thought of him above reading another's correspondence? You give him far too much credit where none is due. Kayakuho is not a child. He knew what coming to Eorzea would entail, and he knew that he would one day need to return to his homeland. And while we may not have always agreed, or I almost never agreed, I did come to respect the man and his steady resolve. Allow him space. If the stars deem it fitting, then he will be back. Or perhaps next it will be our turn for a journey over storm and sea. Cool. Alright, so now we need to talk to Janquinard. So he's gone, and without saying goodbye? I cannot believe it. I will not believe it. Oh, what would I would not give to have one last moment with my brother, my soulmate, my... Lady Vaver told you I read his letter. Oh, well then. Yes, it will pain me to let other novities that Koyakuho has returned to his native lands far away on the other side of the world. I may even need to personally comfort those most stricken with grief by his sudden and tragic departure. But truth be told, I am going to miss having the Hinjin around. He certainly did liven up the place. Godspeed, Kayakuho. May your return journey leave you miserable and wet, but see you safely home. Cool. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys.